the staff has to put together humongous amount of data, whether it is the orders of battle, weapon systems, capabilities, and so on, which exists across multiple platforms and at multiple locations. Now, this data can be fed into large language models, hosted on secure networks. Staff could thereafter quickly query all the data they need on the enemy units, the dispositions, the target description, and so on. And in one fell swoop, we'll be able to get the best possible solution. Generative AI here can contribute to the decision making by rapidly sorting through volumes of data, showing connections, patterns, and potential implications. What needs to be kept in mind is that decision making under pressure is a critical part of good leadership in the military. And AI and humans can work together to make this process easier. The combination of human beings' ethical understanding and AI's quick analytical abilities can definitely speed up decision-making process. Military training, this combines systems engineering, software engineering, and computer science in order to build digitized models that prepare soldiers and airmen with combat systems that can be deployed during operations. In simpler terms, military simulation software is essentially a virtual war game that is used to train soldiers. This software can now be used to train just about anything, from mathematical models to simulating strategies used in non-combative environments. This in turn will prepare the soldiers and men and women in uniform better for real-life situations. We have to now look at newer ways in which generative AI can improve military training and educational programs. AI-powered language models can read training models and other sources and use them to create new training materials. Just as matter of interest, the Indian Air Force itself last year had launched what we call Vayu GPT. It's a one-stop reference for all the technicians and pilots on some aircraft systems and specific notes. We need to capitalize on the AI's capability to evaluate students' current abilities and tailor training to their specific needs. We can now, with the capabilities of what the AI has, we can stop a common training program across the field and have curated training programs dependent on the students or the trainees' individual requirements. When it comes to the aviation world, you all heard of what flight data recorders are, the black boxes. Information from FDR, flight data recorders, coupled with previous combat experiences and debriefs of previous flying missions, can help craft comprehensive training programs tailored for every individual in the service. One of the most exciting developing military applications, of course, has been what we call the swarm drones or the swarm technologies. These swarms of drones are inherently much more effective than a single drone for several reasons. When a drone receives a vital information, it can act upon it or communicate it to other drones in a swarm. These swarms can have the ability to make decisions in a variety of situations, with the swarm having an overarching objective, but individual drones having ability to act independently towards it. Here is where the possibilities of utilizing swarm drones even in peacetime situations are actually endless. The Indian Air Force had curated a program a few years ago. It was a competition that was christened as the Meher Baba Swarm Drone Competition to generate interest among the academia and the startups and the industry to create swarms of drones that can be utilized in an HADR situation. For example, the task given was to be able to deliver 50 bottles of water, 1 liter bottle, to 50 individuals stranded at 50 different locations and return back to base. So with that as a starting point, the developments were made, and today I think the possibilities of using them in combat situations has grown manifold. Toward the end, I would like to say that the character of warfare has been changing with time. Every conflict that we see today gives us something new to learn from. Warfighting concepts and doctrines have become highly dependent on technology and innovations, and new and disruptive methodologies have overshadowed the conventional battlefield tactics. The armed forces must be prepared to compete and win in an environment where a force's ability to rapidly make sense of large amounts of data increases in any future conflict. In short, I think the time has come for us to become data-centric forces in which both our technological networks and our people are organized in such a way that data is visible, accessible and understandable not only to the commanders but even at the lowest rung. Our networks must be secure, be able to interoperate to ensure seamless sharing of the data. Today we are already talking about AI becoming the sixth domain of warfare. That is, some of you would have heard the other domains: conventional land, air, sea, cyber and space. So the sixth domain is now AI. And AI is creating interdependencies among all these domains, which are being augmented through traditional deterrent mechanisms. Finally, as we become more data-centric, we will require a more data-literate force. Leaders at all levels must be data-literate and technologically competent to maximize the advantages of